things I advise you to do in PR. So, first thing would be buying likes. I know that's the thing you don't want to talk about, that's the thing you don't want to admit that you do, but let's make things clear. If you have, if you started your own company and you just made a Facebook fan page and you have the 87 likes that are mostly your friends and your family, you kind of want this head start. You might want to be tempted to do it, and you might want to think that if you buy like 1K likes and then it all goes like into a snowball effect. But let me tell you from experience, I used to work in a team that it's shameful, but they did actually decide to buy some Facebook likes, but it doesn't work. Just let me tell you straight up, it's a no-no. Firstly, because it's unethical, it's cheating. Basically, it's cheating, and even if you say you get the 10K likes, and you know that at the back of your head, you're sure that, well, half of them has been purchased, and you can't really feel proud of having 10K likes on your Facebook page because, well, only half of it is the real likes. And it's just like, cheating in video games, having all those zombies come at you and you're not dying at all. That was not fun. And secondly, it actually gets more expensive, because when you have this set 10K likes and 5K of them are bought and the other 5K are real, and say you want to advertise something, so the cost of the advertising on Facebook is much higher, because you have the fake likes that you also have to pay for to reach, and it's like fake accounts in Turkey or in China, and they're not gonna buy your product, trust me. And actually, the ad rank on Facebook gets worse, because you're not going to get as much interaction as you would, because once again, the purchase accounts don't really interact. Okay, and the second thing I want to talk about is bloggers. And bloggers are the new journalists. I used to despise bloggers. I used to despise all the meaningless posts on blogs. For instance, the 7 things you need to do when you wake up, the 6 movies you need to watch before you die. I used to think that's boring, and I used to think that's a waste of time to do PR with bloggers, but boy, I was wrong. Well, you can't see the picture in the background, sadly, but the audience of bloggers is absolutely massive. It's much more massive. It's much more bigger than you could probably get in a newspaper or any other website. One of our clients, Mobile Vikings, works with a YouTuber called Rezygiusz. That guy plays video games and talks over it, and he has 1.6 million subscribers on YouTube. So you can imagine the audience. It's absolutely massive. And it is actually quality content. I used to think it's not, but times have changed, and sites, for instance, like Spider's Web, they have really, really quality content. And as Gregor said, what you should do when you're contacting bloggers, you should make personalized messages. You should not write the exact same email to every single blogger and just send it out, but you should personalize it. You should Google them. You could possibly try to reach them not only by the email, or maybe on Twitter or something like that. Plus, another good, I think, pro tip: if you have a product that you can send out, just send out the product. They're going to review it and they're going to post reviews. And if your product is good, then that's basically free media coverage. And the last tip is product. You need to have product. You can't do PR without a product. Obviously, well, technically you can, but that's a waste of time and that's a waste of money. You need to have a really solid product. You need to have it finished. There you go. This is, well, you can't see obviously, but this is one of the first Polish Kickstarter campaigns. It's a product called Neuron. It was a sort of kind of like an eye patch that you would put on your eyes and then go to sleep, and then you read your brain waves, and wake you up at the exact perfect moment, and basically, as they told, he would let you sleep for 2 hours a day and be fine. You would have no jet lag whatsoever. And they put a tremendous effort at marketing and PR, and actually, they gathered around $400,000 on Kickstarter as one of the very first Polish successful products. And turns out that the product doesn't work.
Oh.
Yeah, it doesn't work at all. It was 2 years ago, and people on the internet, on the Polish version of Reddit, which is called Pickup, have discovered that it's just some bullcrap that doesn't really work. And it's 2015 nowadays. They still can't get the product up and running. And yeah, and they still have all the cash in their pockets.
I want to add something.
Yeah.
Last month we sold in pre-sales $250K. Pre-sales only on webpage, so the store is still selling.
There you go. There you go. The store is still selling, and
They don't have product. Yeah.
Exactly, and they still don't have a product. That's amazing. Well, that's cheating also. So, yeah, and there's like some 3 practical tips that you can use to get good PR, that you can use to get good brand recognition, and let me walk you through that. First idea that I have come up with a bit of time ago is basically the face of the company. You can probably not see who's in the background, but that is Steve Jobs. Obviously, comparing to Steve is a lot far-fetched, but companies can, especially tech companies and startups, can get really recognized if they have a frontman, if they have somebody who will basically go to conferences, who will, let me go back, no, back, forward. Exactly, that is Elon Musk, and that's the free way to get advertising value equivalent, which is the media coverage. That's the free way to get so much media coverage. If you're active, if you're a CEO of the company and you want to be active in social media, you want to go to conferences, basically it's free and it's a good way to promote yourself. We have some good examples, local examples. First of all is Mike Sadowski, you probably know him. And what he does, he has a company that isn't really special in terms of product. There's about 58 internet monitoring services that are just as good. Maybe they may look worse, but they're just as good pretty much. They rely on Google. But what he does is he actually is so consistent, and he's been so consistent with being a superhero that he wanted to be, with being active on all the social media networks. He goes to every single conference. You can see them on the street talking to people like every single day. He even goes to help desk, and he obviously sits there for like 30 minutes, but that's no one gets to public. He's a perfect like frontman, perfect selling man for his brand. And we have another example. You might know this guy. This is Radek Tadajewski, one of my friends. He works for a tech company, and he tried to do something a little harder. He tried to be a frontman of his own company, but do it internationally. And he actually succeeded. He goes to a lot of conferences in Silicon Valley, and it works. It actually works. It gets him a lot of contacts. It gets him a lot of attention, a lot of media attention. That's basically free, and he promotes his brand better than any marketing does. USPs. If you don't have one, you need to create one, because without USPs, you're not going to succeed. Because nowadays, everything is so similar. Most of apps offer the same functionality. You have to be different in a way. A good example is Plated. Plated is a food delivery service. Sounds like nothing spectacular, but they found a niche. What they do is you can't read, but what they do is they hire world-class chefs to compose recipes that are only to be found on their website. And then, not only they don't deliver the food, they deliver the ingredients. And for instance, you can order, let's say, some fancy spaghetti dinner for 3 people. You're gonna get ingredients packed in bags for exactly for 3 people with the exact calories, the exact amount of carbs and stuff like that, right at your door. Or if you can't make a product USP, you need to communicate different. This is an example of Apple, but I know you all know it just as well, so I'm not going to spend any more time on it. And the third and the last point on my list is to make lists. This is just a content marketing idea that is surprisingly good and works surprisingly well. Well, today the attention span is getting lower and lower and lower because we have a lot of information coming onto us. So we want to filter that. And if you have a blog or you have a website and you want to post some interesting content, you want to get some free marketing ideas, then make a list. Because, well, you actually can't see, but the lists are right here, just behind infographics, as the most interesting content and most shared content on the web. So to sum up my little short presentation, good PR is a skillful way of getting noticed. It doesn't really matter how you do it. You just need to get noticed. Thank you.